Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams. Radhe Radhe everyone. Hope you are very well today. So we are continuing our discussions on this beautiful book, Vilapa Kusumanjali, which is translated as a bouquet of woeful entreaties. Entreaties means, in this case, Rasikananda Swami is praying to Srimati Radhika to be engaged in her service. And he is offering his lamentations about his condition of existence in this material world and praying to be liberated and receive entrance into her loving service. So it's a bouquet of prayers, flower-like prayers, and there are 104 verses, I believe, in this beautiful book. 104. I'll read the last one. O affectionate one, loudly weeping and yearning for your loving service, I clasp your lotus feet to my burning heart and place these lamentations at your lotus feet as a bouquet of flowers. May they give you a little pleasure. Verse 103, O merciful one, if you will not give your great mercy to this suffering soul, then what was the use of all these lamentations and all my longing at the shore of your lake, Radha Kund? Verse 102, I have spent all my time here aspiring after oceans of nectar. Now if you are not kind to me, what is the use of my life, my living in Vraj, and even Krishna, the enemy of Bhaka? So these are very, very beautiful prayers. These are the highest aspiration of those in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu following the footsteps of Srila Rupa Goswami. So I hope everyone is doing well. If you have any questions while we go through our discussion, our Tirtha Prabhu here can speak them and ask for you. And we're going to be doing these sessions in the mornings, 11 a.m. in our New York ashram. And in the evening time, we'll also have sadhana sessions where we do chanting, verse meditations, guided meditations, and so forth. So we'll continue this 7-11 program in our ashram. This is our bhakti school. So it's a bhakti ashram. This is a school for students living here, as well as for those who are eager to learn about the path of bhakti and progress in the path of bhakti from wherever you are in the world. So I'm going to be reading from this book that we published some years ago. I gave a series of talks on this from memory, and you can find those in the playlist on our YouTube channel. So now I'm going to be selecting passages to read from and discuss. And any questions that come up, you can ask. So reading from the commentary on verse 1. So these are commentaries by our Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Srila Gurudev, as well as Sripad Premananda Prabhu in Radhe Kunj. Who is sitting in the hearts of the maidservants? Only Srimati Radhika. No one else is in their hearts. The maidservants are one pointedly attached to Srimati Radhika. Krishna thinks, how dear and close is she to Srimati Radhika, referring to Rupa Manjari. He is considering this. How dear is Sri Rupa Manjari to Srimati Radhika? She has not even seen Krishna's face independently of Sri Radha. When Rupa is with Sri Radhika, with her other friends, Krishna goes to see Srimati Radhika. Then she has Krishna's darshan. So Sri Rupa sees Krishna when Krishna comes to see Radha. But if Krishna is separate from Radhika, then the Manjaris will not have his darshan. Das Goswami says, oh, you have never called Krishna to come. So now Raghunath is praying to Rupa Goswami in his form as Rupa Manjari. So Rati Manjari is praying to Rupa Manjari. How is it that a cut has come on your lips? You never called Krishna to come to you, and you never live separately from Sri Radha or go to see Sri Krishna. So how is this possible? Das Goswami continues, oh, you are Rupa Manjari, you are very dear. Rupa means of the form. So as we said yesterday, Priya Swarupe means Rupa is very dear to Srimati Radhika and Krishna. Dhaita Swarupe, very dear to the beloved. You are Nijana Rupe, you are so absorbed in Srimati Radhika that you appear similar to her. Whatever qualities we have in our sadhana, our practice, or by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, we share these things in the world, or we use them to show off to people, to show our glories. So we develop qualities in our spiritual life, we develop good qualities by practice, but what do we use those qualities for? Look at me, I'm such a great preacher, I'm such a good speaker, this and that. Then we are not going to be accepted directly by Krishna because we are remnants already. We are taking whatever qualities we have. So here the example is given of the fruit, right? Rupa Manjari's lips were like a bimba fruit, very ripe and red. And the parrot-like Krishna is described to have bit her lips, or biting the lips of Sri Radha, that mark has come on her face. But that fruit was offered only to Sri Radha and only to Sri Krishna. In our life, we think of ourselves as whatever qualities we have, we distribute that in the world for name and fame or for wealth. Whatever good qualities we have, we think, oh, take. We are offering ourselves to everyone. But this is not the nature of the Manjaris. They are exclusively dedicated to the service of Srimati Radhika. For Krishna to accept us, we must be chaste. That means we are not distributing ourselves everywhere. We are not polluted by anything material. We are pure and one-pointed. Then Krishna will accept us, and we can be His prasad, His mercy, and His remnants, not anyone else's. So this is the hidden meaning of this verse. Rupa Manjari is pure prasad, no anyone's remnants. Krishna thinks, if I go to her, then my heart will become filled with bliss. Why? She is completely dedicated to Srimati Radhika, my supreme beloved. She is the topmost of all Srimati Radhika's maidservants. As he came close, he became confused, and in the ecstasy of love, he could not understand, is this Radha or is this Rupa? Because she is so absorbed in Srimati Radhika's service, she takes on her own features. So she is completely bewildered now. Krishna looked to see, who is Radhika's dearmost Manjari? Who is Srimati Radharani always extremely pleased with? Anything Radhika has in her heart, anything confidential, she shares with Rupa Manjari. She may not even share with Lalita Vishaka, but she'll share her innermost hearts and her feelings with Rupa Manjari. She feels like she is her own self. Nijanu Rupe. Rupa is so dear to Sri Radha that she feels no distance, no separation. Whatever is in her heart, she can share, the most hidden thing. So therefore, Krishna is also very intrigued by the maidservants of Srimati Radhika. How ananya they are, how one-pointed they are. They are so one-pointed that they are not even interested in him. Krishna says in the Gita, Ananyas chintayanto mam, be one-pointed to me. The Manjaris are not one-pointed to Krishna, they're one-pointed to Srimati Radhika. So Krishna is very intrigued. Who are they? What is their nature? What is their mood? So Rupa Manjari knows all of the confidential secrets of Srimati Radhika's heart. Sometimes Radhika will send her to Krishna to discuss and arrange their meetings. She is very expert in all of these things. Srimati Radhika has complete confidence in the Manjari. So she may send them to Krishna to pass on some secret, knowing that Krishna will never, that they are completely chaste to her. So sometimes she'll send Krishna to them to interact with them, but even so, they are not interested in that because they're always experiencing meetings through Srimati Radhika. So in this first verse, Raghunath Das is offering his prayers to his Gurudev, saying, O Saki Rupa Manjari, O Saki. And he gives this example of Krishna coming to her. Saki means friend. And what is a friend? A friend is someone who has place in your heart. Rupa Manjari has place in everyone's heart in Vrindavan because she's the dearmost servant of Srimati Radhika. Everyone has great respect for her. Everyone has friendship mood towards her. Everyone in Vraj has love and affection for Rupa Manjari and great respect. Why? They have friendship for Srimati Radhika and Krishna's service. Their only desire is to please them. So in this world we make friendship, yes? But why? For our own happiness, our own gratification. But in Vrindavan, in Krishna's realm, friendship is not like that. Only what is favorable for Radha and Krishna's service, what is pleasing to them. No activity is for our own material happiness. So this pastime is witnessed by the Manjaris. all of Srimati Radhika's and Krishna's pastimes. So we're going to read from the second verse. Stala kamalini yuktam garvita kananismin pranayasi varahasyam pushpa guchachalena api nikilalata sta sora bhakta samunchan mrigayati tava margam Krishna bringo yadadhya. So now he's speaking in a beautiful allegory. O lotus tree. So it begins with a very astonishing conception. Generally the lotuses bloom in the water, but now he's talking about a stala kamalini, lotus tree that is growing on land. O lotus tree, on the pretext of this bunch of new blossoms, you are now broadly smiling in this forest. You have every right to be proud. After all, the black Krishna bee has left all the fragrant flowers, and he is now searching the pathway to you. So this is the prayer. If you can hear in the background, we're starting to do some roof repairs. We have some leaks in our roof, so we are fixing those. Okay. So Stala Kamalini means laughing. That there's a blossom of flowers, Puspa Gucha Chalena, which looks like, when many blossoms are coming on flowers, it can be seen like the flowers are laughing, very joyful. So Raghunath Das is saying, land lotus. Kamalini means female lotus that is blooming. So you are laughing with all the different bunches of flowers. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? In Vrindavan Dham, you have fully blossomed. This is Gurudev's commentary. So he's referring to the gopis here. You are fully blossomed in Vrindavan. You're full of softness, fragrance, and honey. Everything is present with you. But you are laughing because you are very proud. Gurudev says, ladies are very proud when their husbands are obedient to them and try to please them at any cost. You are proud because you are understanding that all the other gopis are nothing in comparison to you. We sing to Srimati Radhika, Ramani Shiromani Vrishabhanu Nandini Nilavasana Paridhan. So Srimati Radhika is the crest jewel of all the maidens of Braj, Krishna's dear most beloved. Chandravali and all other gopis pale in comparison, and so she is very proud. You are laughing as if you are several lotuses in one cluster. Like many friends together, when they come together and they're very happy, they begin to laugh. So all the gopis are together now laughing. Gucha cluster means laughing, glancing, and so on. So it's described here in this example. The gopis are like many beautiful lotus flowers blossoming together in a bunch on the land. Stala Kamalini. Pushpa Gucha Chalena. Rupa Manjari then may ask Rati Manjari, why are you speaking like this? So now Raghunath Das Goswami, he is the author, and he is in this form as a sadhaka, as a male. But whenever he's meditating on the spiritual pastimes of Radha Krishna, he's never in that conception as a male. He's only serving as Srimati Radhika's maidservant. That material conception is completely gone. It's not possible to have that male conception in the service of Srimati Radhika. It's impossible. So whenever these prayers are referring to that state, he's always in his Siddha Deha, his spiritual form. So then Rati Manjari will say, I see that the bee loves flowers. In Vrindavan there are so many flowers, and each one is more beautiful than the other. But you are the most fragrant. However, because of that, this bee, Krishna, the black Krishna bee, is leaving aside all other flowers and coming to you. You have bound him by your fragrance. Your beauty, your sweetness, your form, and all your other qualities have attracted him. So we've spoken about this before, that we should not seek to consume beauty. We should seek to be beautiful. We should not seek to enjoy the fragrance of a flower. We should enjoy to be fragrant with our moods of loving service so that Krishna is attracted. And this is the sixth stage of bhakti that is described to be attracting Krishna, Krishna Akarshani. That we become so fragrant by our devotion to God that he is attracted to us and wants to be in our association. We're all praying to be in association of Krishna, but when bhakti becomes so powerful that Krishna wants to be in your association, and then you have to say, Krishna, stay away. This is the maidservants of Srimati Radhika. In this world, everyone is trying to attract God. Everyone is trying to pray to see God. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Everyone's chanting Krishna, 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 praying Om Shri Krishna Sharanang Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanang Mama. Oh Krishna, when will you give me your darshan? Jagannatha Swami, Nayana Patagami, Bhavatame, when will you appear before my eyes? All over the world, since thousands of years, everyone is praying to Krishna for his darshan. And yet it is very difficult. And yet the maidservants of Srimati Radhika, without any prayer for Krishna's darshan, he is coming to see them. Stala Kalamalini, and the black bumblebee of Krishna, Krishna Bringo Yaradya, that bumblebee like Krishna is leaving the other flowers and coming to see how is the nature of Rupa Manjari, how is the glory of Rupa Manjari, how is she beautiful, sweet, how are our moods one pointed to the service of Srimati Radhika. So this is our path of bhakti. We do not have to find Krishna, he will find us. Simply practice bhakti. Okay? There's a story of Gangamata Goswamini in Jagannath Puri. A Krishna Didi came with another sadhu, and he said to that sadhu, that spiritual person, he said, oh, I don't want to be with you any longer. There's a lady in Puri, Gangamata, take me to her ashram. And so that person came and said, oh, this Krishna Didi came to me in my dream and said he wanted to be in your ashram. And she said, no, I'm not interested in Didi worship. It's too much, too many responsibilities, too much expense. I'm just doing my internal bhajan, my spiritual life, and speaking the Bhagavat and doing japa. And he said, no, he asked you. He asked for you. And she said, I cannot take that responsibility. I am Srimati Radhika's maidservant. I'm not Krishna's maidservant. But anyhow, then that person left outside and Krishna told him, no, leave me there. Anyhow, leave me there in the garden. So she had a beautiful Tulsi garden. And that sadhu, when she was absent, he went back in and placed this Krishna Didi in the garden, hiding. And then Gangamata Goswamini was going in the garden to pick flowers and prepare a service for Shri Radha Krishna, and then Krishna was catching onto her cloth. She is like in a monk's robe as a lady, but Krishna would, like she saw something was catching her cloth and holding her. And she looked and she saw the Didi of Krishna. And Krishna said, no, I have come here to be with you. You will establish me on the altar, and you will offer bhoga to me, and you will worship me, and you will do arati to me. He said, only if Srimati Radhika is there. So the point here is that for those who have pure devotion, they don't have to search Krishna. Krishna searches for them. For those who have pure love for Krishna, Krishna will find them. It's a very simple process. And our understanding is that by chanting the names of Srimati Radhika, developing devotion to her lotus feet, Krishna is automatically running behind. Wherever there are beautiful flowers, Krishna wants to see the fragrance, smell the fragrance, and have some interaction, even one word. Even one word, he is thirsty. We're all praying to see Krishna, meditating Krishna mantra, Om, for thousands of years, but the heart is dry, no sweetness. Bumblebee likes honey. Bumblebee likes nectar. So Krishna is hungry for nectar. Krishna is hungry for love. Krishna is hungry for sweetness. Yes? So in our spiritual life, we just try to become sweet. You don't have to advertise. When the flower is blossoming, it doesn't have a marketing agency to invite bumblebees to come and taste the nectar. So the Braja Gopis are like that. They don't need any advertising agency. They don't have to shout their glories and spread their glories. I'm just in the middle of a live stream. He can talk with you, no problem. You can talk with him outside. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. No problem. All right, so we're going to keep reading here. As I said, we're doing our temple roof fixing. We had the hall here, but we never did the roof, so we are fixing that. So, continuing here. Rupa Manjari may question Rati Manjari, why are you speaking in this way? See, because it's like a very, almost like a scandalous prayer. This is how he is offering his prayers to his Gurudev. The first two verses. You are qualified to write verses like that to your Gurudev? Dear Gurudev, your husband is away, and why is there a cut on your lip? Is this done by the best of the parrots? And then the next verse is, O land, Lotus, on the pretext of this bunch of new blossoms, you're all broadly smiling in this forest. And you have every right to be proud. After all, that black bee, Krishna, has left all other fragrant flowers, and he's now searching the pathway to you. So this is his prayers. Yeah, go for it, no problem.
I was just checking. Yeah.
No worries. There's another little one coming there. See there? Yeah, no problem. We're just on our live stream. You see that other leak coming there?
Yeah.
By the picture?
Yep, so I'm like...
Okay, brief interlude.
1 second, I'm so sorry.
No problem.
So, I'll tell you what's wrong with this picture. So this is just the top layer that I took off, right? Yeah. And if you look here, so there's a layer of shingles on top of a layer of shingles. So, I'm going to ask a trick rhetorical question. Yeah. What is this layer of shingles not on?
Subroof?
It's not on tar paper. Yeah. It's right on plywood. Yeah. So here's the problem. Right. Well, what they did was, and it's not rocket science, but that actually does act like a vapor barrier. So what it is everybody's breathing in here when they're in here, and then you have the cold weather and the snow that's on top of the roof, and then the wood stove, the hot air is radiating up there, and the little nails that perforate through the shingles and through the wood to hold them to the roof, that's also transferring cold, believe it or not, from outside to inside. So when the ambient radiant heat gets up there, it doesn't have to be a monumentally big rainstorm. Although I did find a place when I stripped that, there was actually a place there where the rain was coming from outside. But what's really happening is that condensation is building up underneath that shingle.
Why don't I go up there with you, Tirtha? You can sub it and read, okay?
And again, this is just one little section, but I'm going to show you.
Do it.
Because this happened when there was no rain. Like all of these
That's
leaves.
why. Because the...
No, it's just happened when there's been...
I get it. I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying it's twofold. I did find a place where I stripped this, right above there, you could see there was water coming underneath the shingle. However, the dampness of the plywood, and you know what, I'm not suggesting you do that now, because what we're going to do is stick to the game plan.
Well, I want to come and talk about it with you. I want to talk about long term.
Long term, I think long term, you're...
Metal roof.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's the way to go. That's you got you.
Another option of I want to be penny wise, don't want to be penny wise, pound foolish. So let me come up and I'll be done in like half an hour.
I'm so not even.
I'm on a
just
live
take
stream.
it.
I'm on a live stream. Yeah. No problem. Let me come up there in like 15-20 minutes and brainstorm with you. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Yep, no problem. Actually, go ahead and keep going.
No, but I'm done anyway in 20 minutes. Promise. All right. No problem. No problem. Hey, this is important. Yeah, thank you. That's what I wanted to see. I want to talk the long-term game plan for it. All right. Sorry for the interruption. So, no problem. So we're hearing about these very beautiful verses. We are not able to speak like this to our Guru. This is Gurudev's commentary. Right? Because Rati Manjari is in the perfected state and Rupa Goswami is in his perfected state, then they are speaking together in this, the first 4 limbs of bhakti, Rupa Goswami says is, Pratamam Guru Padashrai, so first you find a spiritual master who's bona fide and take shelter. Then Krishna Dikshadi Shikshanam, you take Krishna Mantra initiation and take instructions from the spiritual master how to serve. Then Sadhu Vardmanu Vardmanam, you follow the path taught by the sadhus, saintly persons. And then Vishrambena Guru Seva, you develop intimacy with Guru and service based on that intimacy. Guru Seva means service to Guru, and Vishrambena means with intimacy, with deep friendship. So that perfection of that state, Guru becomes just like your friend. At that point, Guru is not there's still an etiquette and a respect, but it's not based on master and servant relationship. It's based on pure friendship. And so on that level of pure friendship, Raghunath Das Goswami is praying to Rupa Goswami in his spiritual form, and in her spiritual form, she is praying and saying like this, these 2 verses. But we are not able to speak like this to our Guru. So after praying to Gurudev, one should pray to one's Ishtadev. That means one's worshipful, ultimate Lord. Gurudev is a channel, a medium. So a question may arise here. When Krishna came to Rupa Manjari, leaving the other gopis, did he also leave behind Srimati Radhika? Surely Krishna has left all the gopis to meet Srimati Radhika. Therefore, this verse can be interpreted in two ways. The first meaning is general, but the special meaning is that Raghunath Das Goswami is doing prayers to Srimati Radhika, his Ishtadevi. Oh, my dear Radhika, you are Stala Kamalini, not Jala Kamalini. That means you are lotus blooming on the land, not in the water. Because Srimati Radhika is sometimes going to bathe in the Jamuna, but mostly she is on the land. So he's describing her to be a lotus blooming on the land. And because Srimati Radhika and Rupa Manjari are so intimately connected, then Krishna may confuse Radha for Rupa and Rupa for Radha. Like that. Rupa for Radha. So actually in this verse it's glorifying Rupa Manjari, but mostly Srimati Radhika. The first meaning is general, but the special meaning is that Raghunath Das Goswami is offering prayers to Srimati Radhika, his Ishta Devi. That means his worshipful goddess. Oh, my dear Radhika, you are Stala Kamalini, not Jala Kamalini. You are a land lotus, not a water lotus. It is befitting that you are proud because Krishna has left all others to come to you. This is a reference to a specific pastime. Srimati Radhika is first not ready to go and meet with Krishna. Krishna has sent Vrinda Devi as his messenger to inform Srimati Radhika that he will immediately die if he cannot see her. So Krishna has sent Vrinda Devi to Srimati Radhika. Please send a message to Srimati Radhika. And Vrinda Devi arrives and says to Srimati Radhika that Krishna is saying he will die if he does not see you. He will give up his life. Please go and meet him at Sanket in Vrindavan near the Jamuna. There's a special meeting place called Sanket where they send signals to each other and where they meet. The messenger may be Vrinda Devi or it may be another like Nandimukhi. So at times, Krishna, he will indicate his desire to Srimati Radhika simply glancing from the corners of his eyes. And by the corner of her eyes, Srimati Radhika admits her desires. Krishna's flute may also act as his messenger. So Krishna has different kinds of messengers. These are called duti, messengers. There are various Vrajagopis or various associates or even various paraphernalia. Krishna's flute is a messenger. The gopis are a messenger, or the eyes, the sidelong glance is a messenger. These are Krishna's messengers. So, sending his messenger, Krishna is calling out to Srimati Radhika that without you I cannot live. Please come and meet with me. And then Srimati Radhika proceeds towards the flower grove, bringing with her only a very few, very qualified Sakhis, friends like Rupa Manjari and Rati Manjari. So both of them were present in this pastime. Sometimes Krishna also has another messenger named Subal. So even his cowherd boy, Subal, may act as a messenger. This Presta Priya Narmasaka, very, very intimate friend of Krishna who has some understanding of Krishna's love and relationship for Shri Radha. So now the night is very dark and cold and the sky is full of clouds pouring rain. On such a night, to avoid detection, Srimati Radhika dresses in a black dress with dark ornaments. So in the dark moon night, Srimati Radhika is dressed in very dark color, like deep blue, dark purple, or even black, and wearing black diamonds or any very dark sapphire. And in a full moon night, she dresses completely in white. So in our temples, on the full moon days, we dress the deities in white. On the dark moon days, we dress them in any dark outfit. And Srimati Radhika will tie her ankle bells so they don't jingle. So, in this way, Krishna will send messengers. So Gurudev is now telling this story. Though Vrinda Devi came from Krishna and she made many prayers to Srimati Radhika. She wept and did everything possible. Krishna had said, go and please tell her. And Srimati Radhika still said, no, I won't meet with him. So he said, now you weep. She wept. Radhika said, no, I still will not meet with him. She would not meet with Krishna. She would not allow him to come to her, and she would not go to him. And therefore he was very unhappy. And the time was passing where the opportunity would be over for the day. Finally, Krishna asked Subal, "Can you help me?" So Subal, his cowherd friend, said, "Surely I will help you." And at once he went to Srimati Radhika and spoke in such a way that she began to weep. He told her, "Krishna is now about to die. He will not." And then at once Srimati Radhika became ready, and Subal Saka went ahead to announce to Krishna that Srimati Radhika will come. Question?
He was asking about her deities, and she said she only knows about Radha and Krishna, and she's asking, can you please explain about the four gopis?
Jai, beautiful question. So Renu Didi, Haribo, Radhe Radhe, hope you're well. And the question is, for anyone curious, is we have our Radha Krishna deities here, and then we have deities of, we'll show you later, it's okay, it's hard. There are deities of Lalita, who is Srimati Radhika's, like her best friend, a little bit older than her, 27 days older. And so she sometimes will even kind of be like a coach for Srimati Radhika. Like, don't give up so easily, don't make up with Krishna, hold fast to your man, your anger to Krishna. And then there's Vishaka on the other side. In our altar, Lalita Devi is holding the chamara, the whisk, with which she fans Shri Radha, and Vishaka Devi is on Krishna's side. And in this way, Srimati Radhika is present with Krishna. That actually, where only Radha and Krishna are alone standing, a lot of the times it's considered to be Lakshmi Narayan worship. But where she is surrounded by her Sakhis, Lalita Vishaka and the Manjaris, then Rishabhanu Nandini, direct Srimati Radhika, and Brajendra Nandan Shamsundar Krishna directly are both present. So Rupa Manjari is next to our Gurudev. Tirtha will post these pictures. And Rati Manjari is next to Swami Prabhupada. And next to Rati Manjari is Vishaka. Next to Rupa is Lalita. And they are giving us entrance into her service. So this is the vision of Kam Gayatri, the vision of Radha Krishna seated together. There's a beautiful song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur that Astod Halo Pari Shri Radha Shri Hari Asta Saki Parijan. Radha Krishna are seated on a beautiful 1,000-petaled lotus. Actually 8-petaled lotus, but the whole realm is described to be like a transcendental lotus. So Radha Krishna are sitting there, Asta Dhalopari, Shri Radha, Shri Hari, Asta Saki, surrounded by their gopis, the Sakis. Primarily Lalita Vishaka, Rupa and Rati. And there together, they are Sugita Nartane, Shaba Shaki Gane, Tushi Che Jugaladhan. They are singing and dancing, playing different instruments. These are the first 3 of the 64 arts. To learn how to sing for Krishna, to learn how to play instruments, to learn how to dance. These are the 64 arts. So this is what they are performing in that spiritual realm. So we'll learn more details in due course. Okay? So we're going to finish this story and then we'll end a little early today.
One more question from Kalindi. She was asking yesterday about how it came to be that Radha taught Krishna how to play the flute.
So great question from Kalindi. How did Radharani teach Krishna how to play the flute? Krishna received this flute when he was just a baby from Mother Yashoda. He has different kinds of flutes. And one time Krishna was sitting on the tower outside of his courtyard. So in the architectural style of Vrindavan, there's the main home. Sometimes there'll be a home with a courtyard in the center, and then more grounds, and if there's a wall, or there may or may not be a wall, but there will be like an entrance tower. And so Krishna was sitting there one day with his friend Madhumangal, his very dear friend, cowherd boy, and he was kind of examining this flute that his mother had given him and thinking what he should use it for and how he would learn how to play the flute. He was thinking how to play this flute, how to learn how to play the flute. And he was holding it there, and then the breeze came through that area and entered into the flute and made a very sweet sound. And Krishna was very enamored and thought, oh, this is a very good messenger for me, that I can reveal my heart in this flute. And so Krishna, he was using it like this, and gradually the sound was coming from the flute. And in the meantime, the sound was carried to the home of Srimati Radhika, where she was sitting in her room with her parrot. She has a parrot named Sukha. And this parrot, she was being fed pomegranate seeds by Srimati Radhika, and she was feeding in her hand. And when the sound of this flute entered her room, it was filled with the moods of Sri Krishna and his calling for her. And so she immediately became so enchanted and attracted that she fell down senseless, thinking, if I cannot meet with Krishna, how will I maintain my life? And so this parrot saw Srimati Radhika senseless on her couch and thought, how did this happen? And he had heard that sound of the flute and seen immediately the reaction. So he thought, where did this sound come from? Who is this culprit? I must go and apprehend them and punish them. So this parrot then flew, following the sound of the flute. And by that time, Krishna was returning back into his house, and the parrot flew and saw, oh, Krishna. And sat in a tree near Krishna where he was sitting and was observing Krishna. And then Srimati Radhika had taught the parrot how to chant Krishna's name. So the parrot was thinking how to get Krishna's attention and how to figure out how to deal with the situation. He wanted to chastise Krishna for disturbing his Srimati Radhika. But when he was looking at Krishna, Krishna is so beautiful that he started to become attracted to Krishna. Krishna's beauty is, he is Madan Mohan, the attractor of millions of cupids. So seeing the beauty of Krishna's face, the parrot became so enamored and simply began chanting his name, Krishna, Krishna. And Krishna saw him in the tree and said, come, invited him. And then the parrot came and flew and sat by Krishna's table, his desk, and Krishna began to stroke the parrot. And then he called his friends to bring some sweets, some like pistachio burfi, very nice sweets, laddu burfi, and feed the parrot, Sukha. And Sukha immediately forgot everything. It was the power of Krishna's beauty, the power of Krishna's love and sweetness. So the parrot was completely transfixed and became like a doll in Krishna's hands, just looking at his face, receiving his prasad remnants. And in that way the time was passing. In the meantime, Srimati Radhika woke and saw Sukha is gone. And she called her friends Lita Vishaka. What has happened to Sukha? You should go and find him. So Lita Vishaka went to, they knew this must be Krishna. And he must have gone to find this person. So they went to Nanda Bhavan, where Krishna lives. This is some kilometers away, like 2-3 miles away. So Lita Vishaka went to Krishna's home. And Mother Yashoda was in the kitchen. So they said, oh, dear Mother Yashoda. And she was very happy to see them. She was always very affectionate to the gopis. So she embraced them and actually wept tears with great affection seeing them. And then said, oh, dear gopis, why have you come today? And they said, oh, we're actually looking for Srimati Radhika's parrot. He flew in this direction. So we are looking to see if he has come here perhaps. And so Mother Yashoda started looking around the home and they said, okay, finally, maybe he's in Krishna's room. So Mother Yashoda went into Krishna's room and saw him speaking with the parrot. And Krishna was teaching the parrot how to speak. How to say what? And Radhe Radhe. So Krishna was telling the parrot was saying to him, Krishna, Krishna, that's all he knew. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Radharani had taught him how to say Krishna's name. But the parrot was now saying Radhe, Radhe in Krishna's voice. So Krishna was trying to make the parrot his spy. He would say, you should go to Srimati Radhika and in my voice say, oh Radhe, please come, meet with me. Oh Radhe. In my voice, Krishna was telling him how to speak to Srimati Radhika, to attract her and to trick her and to come to him. So, oh, just come this way. I'll meet you in a few minutes. Oh, Srimati Radhika. Oh, Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. And Mother Yashoda opened the door and Krishna looked. Lalita and Vishaka were right there with her on either side. Mother Yashoda, tall, strong, and short. Lalita Vishaka is young gopis now, 6-7 years old. So Mother Yashoda came and said, oh, Krishna, whose parrot is this? And Krishna said, he is free. Birds are free. No one owns a bird. He is his own property. It's Krishna. He knows by diplomacy or anyhow he has to keep his spy. So he said, oh, birds are free. Whose property is a bird? You don't see a bird in a tree and say, whose property is this bird? He was in a tree. He came to me. I fed him. He wants to stay with me. It's up to him. If he wants to go anywhere, it's up to him. And so then Lalita said, no, he's Srimati Radhika's parrot. You're lying. Krishna said, I don't know who is Sri Radha. All I know is that this parrot came to me and he's happy here. And so then the parrot's looking, Lalita, Krishna, Lalita, Krishna. And Krishna is so beautiful, so attractive. Lalita was saying, come to me. And he was thinking, how can I leave Krishna? And then Mother Yashoda and Lalita left the room with Vishaka. And they said to Mother Yashoda, you don't know, if Krishna is always with animals, he'll become like an animal. His intelligence will be lost. Playing with monkeys, playing with cows and calves, playing with Krishna as a little boy. He was famous for, sometimes he and his brother Balaram would go and they would see a bull laying down, sleeping. They would see a resting bull. And Krishna and Balaram would stick their fists, a fist in each of the nostrils of the bull, and then hold on to his horn. They would stick a fist in either nostril and hold on to the horn. And then the bull would not be able to breathe properly, and he was sleeping. He'd wake up, and you see these little boys with their fists in his nose, holding onto his horn. He would become crazy, and he would jump up and start spinning his head, and Krishna and Balaram would be riding, swinging back and forth. And this way they would run all around Vrindavan. Don't worry, the bull was able to breathe. He was happy. Sometimes they would do this with a dog. They would see a dog lying outside and his tongue would be out and dripping saliva and he would be breathing, and they would say, why is he like this? Why doesn't he keep his tongue inside his mouth? And they would grab hold of it, and then the dog would become restless. Sometimes Krishna would see a chipmunk and he would go, and Krishna would follow the chipmunk or the squirrel, and then he would go under the bushes, of thorn bushes, and then Krishna would crawl under anyhow and get inside, but then the squirrel would disappear and Krishna would be trapped because he didn't want to get back out. The thorns, following the squirrel, he got in. But then he would cry, oh, Mother Yashoda, I'm trapped, please help me. And Mother Yashoda would have to come with Nanda Baba, lift up all the thorns and try to get into Krishna and bring him out. Thorn trees are called babul. So there are many thorn trees in Vrindavan. Any jealousy, any enmity, any anger becomes a thorn tree in Vrindavan. So this is many pastimes like that of Krishna. Krishna has so many pastimes with the monkeys. He's always stealing butter and causing mischief. So Krishna is famous as a, very mischievous boy. So Lalita and Vishaka told Mother Yashoda, you know how mischievous Krishna is, and he's always associating with monkeys and cows and calves. Cows and calves are simple, good, but the monkeys are always causing disturbance. So if he's always with this bird inside his house also, then he's always with animals, inside with animals, outside with animals, only with animals. So you should not let him stay with this bird. So Mother Yashoda thought, yes, you are right. So she went back into the room and said, hey, Krishna, and she took Sukha and gave him to Lalita Vishaka. No more playing with birds. Okay, I don't care if they're your property or not, or whose property, or they're free or what. So Krishna then was sulky and sad, but Srimati Lalita Devi went with Sukha immediately back to Srimati Radhika. And as soon as he was back in Lalita Devi's hand, he thought, oh, like a spell. Cloud passed from his mind, and he was again thinking, oh, I've left Srimati Radhika. How did I leave Srimati Radhika? And going back to Srimati Radhika, he said, oh, please forgive me. I went to try to defend your honor, to protect you from this thief of your heart, the flute player. But I became myself kidnapped and captured. And only by your mercy, by you sending your associates, have I come back to your lotus feet. So then again, Srimati Radhika began to speak with him and began to inquire, what did Krishna teach you? What did Krishna teach you? And the parrot smiled and said, Radhe Radhe. Oh Radharani, please come and meet with me. Oh Radharani, please accept me. Oh Radhika, I'm sorry for being so mischievous. Oh Srimati Radhika, I'm sorry for being so restless. Oh Srimati Radhika, please forgive me. All these different verses Krishna had taught the parrot. How to beg forgiveness, how to convince. Sometimes Krishna will be standing outside of Srimati Radhika's house and thinking how to get inside and to invite her to meet with him in the forest. But Radhika's in-laws are present and they're very cautious about Krishna coming to see her. So sometimes Krishna will climb into a tree near Srimati Radhika's window, and as a cuckoo bird, he will call out. And when he calls out, even the nighttime, Jatila will wake up and say, hey, who's that making that noise? That doesn't sound like a 100% authentic bird. Sounds like an imitation bird. Is that you, Krishna, hiding in the tree? Stay away from my Srimati Radhika. Stay away. So Krishna will stay up all night waiting to meet with Srimati Radhika. And at the end of the night, he will not have been successful, and he goes back home very sad. So Param Gurudev prays that actually, I only want to be with Srimati Radhika, and I don't want to see her in separation from Krishna. But if Krishna is in separation from Srimati Radhika, I don't mind. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings like this, that Shri Krishna virahe radhikara dasa amito sahite nare jugala milan sukarakaran jivana charite pare. That I cannot tolerate Srimati Radhika's separation from Krishna, and I will give up my life to arrange their meeting. But if Krishna is in separation from Srimati Radhika, that is no problem. Why? Because if she is performing her Man Leela, this is only to please Krishna and intensify his desire to meet with her. So this is the mood of the gopis. So now Sukha is with Srimati Radhika speaking all these words, and Radhika thought, okay, well, what is the nature of this flute? And so from that time she began to be thinking of this flute as both an enemy and, ultimately it's Kila Kinchit Bhav. We're about to read this section. It means Srimati Radhika will show different emotions. She'll say one thing and feel one thing. She'll go one way and want to go another way. This is the nature of the Braja Gopis and the Brajabasis. They're very indirect and crooked. So Srimati Radhika sees the flute like a friend and like an enemy. Because anything she's doing, if she hears the flute song of Krishna, she'll leave everything at once. So you can imagine. It's like you're always on guard. Imagine if there was some powerful weapon that whatever you're doing, if you hear it, you'll drop everything and run to that person who's playing the flute. So at every moment, they're like, is Krishna going to play his flute? Is Krishna going to play his flute? Is Krishna going to play his flute? And it's like he has a remote controller. So you imagine, they're always thinking how to steal Krishna's remote control. He's like, come, be with me, come, be with me. And they're always thinking, how can I steal Krishna's flute? How can I steal Krishna's flute? But also, she's very compassionate, and she thinks, what does Krishna know? He doesn't know how to expertly play the flute. I should teach him sometime. And sometimes, maybe if I teach him, then he will agree to some compromise. I'll teach you how to play nicely, but you promise not to call us when we're busy in other things. So anyhow, there's many pastimes around this specific meeting, but there are some paintings of Radha with Krishna where Srimati Radhika is playing the flute. And there's some paintings with Radha and Krishna where they're standing together, with Krishna holding the flute with one hand, Radha is holding the flute with the other hand. And she is playing on the flute, he is playing on the flute, and he is standing with one leg on the ground, she is standing with one leg on the ground, and he is standing with one leg, like each embracing the other. So she is with one hand the flute, he is with one hand the flute, and they're embracing each other and standing together in that way. So this is the Yugal Roop, the divine couple. We worship the divine couple, the counter whole, Radha and Krishna. They're equal, counter whole, and this is their form of their divine love. So Srimati Radhika will teach Krishna how to play the flute, just like she teaches him how to dance. She is Gandharvika. That means the most expert dancer, the most expert singer, the most expert musician, most expert at all instruments. So Srimati Radhika will teach Krishna, but ultimately this is Krishna's flute. It's his main instrument. He's always playing on his flute. So we can do one more quick passage here, or we can answer any of the questions. Okay? So we're going to try to finish the story. As Srimati Radhika, we are telling the story of how she's going to meet with Krishna after Krishna's messenger came to invite her. As she nears the Kunj and Krishna is waiting, she at once turns and is ready to return to her palace. So Srimati Radhika is on the way to meet with Krishna in the forest, but then she hesitates and turns around and goes back towards her house. And the gopis are thinking, why is she returning? Krishna is also thinking this. Krishna is at a distance. And he hears, oh, Shri Radhika is going home. And he is nearby. She's approaching like we are here and the temple is there. The deity's curtain is there. So Krishna is now, Srimati Radhika is now only nearby, 30, 40 feet. And as she's approaching the flower grove, Krishna is waiting since a long time. All of a sudden, she turns around to leave. Then Krishna approaches Srimati Radhika and prays for her to stay. But she ignores him. Krishna is begging with folded hands, please accept me, please accept me, please accept me. But she has decided to leave. Krishna stands in front of her, blocking her path. And she pushes him aside. No, I'm going. He prays for her to stay. She says, no, I'm going. Then he catches her hands. He says, please come with me. And he's begging her. In her heart, Srimati Radhika is feeling intense bliss, but tears are coming in her eyes. And in her mouth, there's anger, so she rebukes Krishna. This is called Kila Kinchit Bhav, many mixed emotions. She's walking away, Krishna is holding her hand. Please come. And then with her mouth, she's angry and she speaks chastising words at Krishna. And she's weeping tears, but in her heart experiencing great bliss. So many moods are coming